Was it not?
It was.
Okay. And it being your first murder investigation, you managed to almost immediately rule out Jesse O'Malley as a suspect.
Yes, I was. As through my first murder investigation, through my observation, the murder was a robbery gone wrong. There was a struggle clearly, and Declan happened to be pushed out a window through probably a struggle. So I investigated for a murderer, a homicide, not whatever this murder for hire is.
Okay, but you, no matter what, you quickly eliminated Jesse O'Malley as a suspect, isn't that
Yes,
right?
because Jesse had a good alibi at the time. So.
Okay, so isn't it also true you suspected Mr. Garcia almost immediately?
Yes, as the receipt hinted towards Mr. Garcia heavily.
And yet, you say you thoroughly investigated this case, isn't that right?
I did.
Okay, and wouldn't you agree that every sibling of the decedent should be interviewed?
No, it depends on the case.
Okay, you interviewed Jess O'Malley, isn't that right?
I did because I was aware of the struggle between Jesse and Declan.
Okay, but you failed to even interview Tully O'Malley, isn't that right?
No, because Tully O'Malley had no motive.
Objection, Your Honor, unfair extrapolation. The witness, Mr. Slade, he never stated in his witnessing whether he interviewed Tully O'Malley, and he didn't say that he did, but he said that he did not.
What particular lines of the witness statement would be useful for me?
Again, I think it's the, they have a moment to look through.
Then give yourself a thought.
In this case, I believe, like it was earlier, it's the lack of lines of Mr. Slade never said anything about interviewing, not interviewing Tully O'Malley or interviewing him at all. He has mentioned in interviewing people, but he never said anything specific about Tully O'Malley.
Okay, counsel.
I actually think I could lay some more foundation and help me make this extrapolation.
Well, before you do that, let's try to resolve this real quick. So, where do you think within a witness statement there's lines that allow for this extrapolation?
Well, seeing as this senior slave was the detective on the case and Tully O'Malley was the sibling of the decedent, it would only be customary that you would interview someone that closely involved with that case. Anyone with any experience on any police force group for that.
Well, I'm not sure about that. I mean, you've got multiple investigators, multiple detectives, you may have ordinary police officers investigating them, there's all kinds of possibilities.
But as a 3-year veteran, as someone who specifies that they're not missing any details whatsoever, wouldn't that imply that they would overlook the fact that the sibling of the decedent, I mean, that's kind of a crucial detail.
Your Honor, I believe this is speculation and still extrapolation. There's nothing about this that says it in Mr. Samir's statement, and he's just kind of going off of what he believes should have happened at the detective, which is speculation.
Yeah, and the court is concerned that there's no indication of a series of lines that indicate that there was an interview totally now based on the records before the court. It's concerning, but let's go ahead and keep moving on, please. Thank you.
Okay. So you stated that you, in your direct, that you always wanted to be a detective, isn't that right?
Yes.
And how long were you on the police task? How long were you a detective for?
3 years.
Sure.
What are you implying? How long was that? Lead detective or a detective?
You you worked your way up through a chain to become detective, isn't that right?
Well, sure. I came into the police force. It took me 3 years to become lead detective, and I was on that case for 3 years.
Okay. So you were only lead detective for how long?
3 years. Approximately 2, 3. Because the case, I moved up from 3 years, and the case lasted, 3 years?
So, the O'Malley pub, Doyle's pub, it was owned by the O'Malleys, isn't that right?
Yes.
You frequented that pub, isn't that also true?
Yeah, it's a pretty cozy place, I'd say.
And you would be considered a regular there, isn't that also fair to say? Okay. And while being a regular there, you grew close to Jessie O'Malley.
Yes, I did.
In fact, she was your only friend in Curly Hatfield.
Yeah.
And actually, you stated this in your direct, the idea that Jess could have orchestrated this whole murder of her mind. Wouldn't that imply that she had a financial motive?
I didn't say financial motive, I just knew there was a struggle, so I might as well investigate, and clearly there was nothing wrong.
But on your direct, you said the idea that Jessie is accused of killing their own brother over money is ridiculous.
Yes, it is ridiculous.
So that would imply that there's a financial motive, is there not, in this case?
Objection, Your Honor, extrapolation, the witness meant by their statement, and the witness explained what it meant, and is clearly in disagreement with the attorney.
So, I'll cut this one short. I don't think this is an extrapolation issue. I think I understand the objection. Let's go ahead and just keep this moving on.
Okay. You said you interviewed Mr. Garcia?
No, I did not interview Mr. Garcia.
You never interviewed Mr. Garcia?
No, I did not.
Give me a break.
Okay, do that. My memory is fully.
Okay.
Would you like to repeat your question?
Yeah. You asked Mr. Garcia about bruises, did you not?
I asked, I didn't interview. Mr. Garcia is a bartender. I'm a regular at Doyle's. I could have walked up to the bar.
Okay. But you asked a question, did you not?
You said interview, not asked. I asked a question, yes.
You noticed bruises on their arms?
Yes, I said it before.
You did not follow up with these bruises?
No, I actually told Detective Magumbo to question Mystic, as Magumbo has stated earlier in court that they had the interrogative skills, and clearly, as I'm a young detective, Magumbo would have been more fit to interview Mr. Garcia.
But You just stated that you had the opportunity to ask Mr. Garcia a question, yet you.
I did.
And you didn't ask any follow-up questions?
Although I was lead detective on the case, I still have higher ups, that being my chief. I talked to my chief about Mrs. Garcia, and our chief turned me down as well as my supervisors, so I went to Magumbo and suggested Magumbo question it, because they may trust the 30-year detective more. But my supervisors turned me down, as well as Magumbo.
That was a no.
I was not informed to.
You're not informed to?
I was
or
not, I
you
was,
did not proceed?
I was denied to. Or waived off.
You did not ask any further questions?
I was ignored. So yes, no, I did not ask further questions because I was told by my superiors that it was not worthy of time.
Okay. May I please get a yes or no answer?
Can you ask the question again?
After asking Mr. Garcia about the bruises on their face and their arms, you did not pursue a further investigation?
I did. I pursued the further investigation by implying that Magumbo investigate as they have more skills. Me personally, no, I did not.
You did not further question?
No.
Further question, Joe?
I want to turn to counsel for defense.
Yes, Your Honor.